Hey, Celtics Nation. We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. All right, let's set the scene. Imagine waking up to one of those sports notifications that makes you rub your eyes and think your phone is glitching. The headline flashes like a punchline that doesn't make sense. Boston Celtics announce Kevin Durant. Wait, what? Yes, you read that right. The same Kevin Durant, two-time Finals MVP, one of the purest scorers in the history of basketball, is now wearing green and white. The internet exploded in seconds. Twitter? Chaos. ESPN? Meltdown mode. Celtics fans? They're losing their minds in disbelief and excitement. The NBA world hasn't felt this shocked since LeBron took his talents to South Beach. And honestly, who saw this coming? There were whispers that Durant wasn't happy in Phoenix, sure, but joining the defending champs? That's wild. This isn't just a trade, it's a statement. Boston wants to build a dynasty, not just a title team. It's like the league just got turned upside down overnight, and everyone's scrambling to make sense of it. Nobody knows the full details yet, but one thing's clear. The Celtics just pulled off one of the most shocking moves in NBA history, and the ripple effects are going to be massive. Now let's talk about what this means on the court, because the basketball implications are insane. Imagine a starting lineup with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and Kevin Durant. That's not just a super team. That's a nightmare for every defense in the league. The spacing, the shooting, the versatility, it's pure basketball poetry. Tatum and KD together? Two elite scorers who can take over games from anywhere on the floor. Brown's athleticism and defense, Drew's leadership, and Porzingis stretching the floor like a 7-foot sniper? Good luck stopping that. But there's more than just talent here. This move screams win now. Boston's front office clearly decided that last year's championship wasn't enough. They want to lock down an era. And Durant, despite his age, still brings that killer instinct. He's a walking 30-piece on any given night. Sure, people will question chemistry, egos, and touches, but championship teams figure that out. This is the kind of move that either cements a dynasty or burns bright and fast. Either way, we're all about to witness something historic. Behind the scenes, there are whispers, the kind that start as quiet NBA rumors and suddenly turn into full-blown reality. Sources close to Durant say he wanted one last run at glory, somewhere stable, somewhere with structure. And who offers that better than Boston? A franchise built on tradition, banners, and culture. The story goes that Durant and Tatum have been talking for weeks, maybe even months, quietly building a connection through Team USA camp and private workouts. Apparently, KD was impressed by Tatum's maturity and hunger. He saw a bit of his younger self there. Boston's GM Brad Stevens played chess, not checkers, staying silent while other teams made noise. And when Phoenix started to show cracks, with injuries, inconsistent rotations, and whispers of locker room tension, Stevens pounced. He offered picks, depth, and maybe even some salary magic to make it happen. It's a move that feels surreal, like something straight out of NBA 2K, but it's real life. And if the Celtics really did pull this off under everyone's nose, they might have just executed one of the greatest front office coups ever. Of course, the skeptics are already lining up. Durant's too old, they say. He can't stay healthy. Boston's chemistry will implode. You've heard it all before. But let's not forget, this is Kevin freaking Durant. Even at 36, his game ages like fine wine because it's built on skill, not explosiveness. He doesn't rely on sheer athleticism. He relies on precision. Jumpers, footwork, IQ, that stuff doesn't fade. Sure, the Celtics will have to manage his minutes, maybe ease him into the system, but they've got the depth to do it. And emotionally, Durant's had something to prove. After bouncing around teams, from Golden State to Brooklyn to Phoenix, he's chasing legacy, not validation. Winning in Boston, under those rafters filled with legends' names, would be the ultimate mic drop. Imagine KD holding that Finals MVP trophy again, this time in Celtics green as the crowd chants his name. Goosebumps, right? So maybe it's crazy. Maybe it's risky. But sometimes the craziest moves make the most unforgettable stories. And let's be honest, the entertainment value here is off the charts. Every Celtics game just became must-see TV. The rivalries? They just got juicier. Imagine the rematch with the Bucks, Durant versus Giannis, two titans clashing again. Or the drama with Miami, Jimmy Butler throwing shade in post-game interviews. Even the Western Conference teams are probably shaking their heads, realizing they just lost a future Hall of Famer to the East's already loaded roster. The media circus is going to be relentless. Every missed shot will be dissected. Every hug between Tatum and KD will be overanalyzed. But that's the NBA for you. Drama sells, and the Celtics just became the main characters of the league's next blockbuster season. Fans will tune in not just to watch basketball, but to watch history unfold in real time. Love him or hate him, Durant brings energy, controversy, and greatness. And Boston, for better or worse, is now the center of the basketball universe. But here's the real kicker. This might not just be about basketball. This could be about redemption, about rewriting narratives. Durant's been labeled a ring chaser, a superstar who takes shortcuts. But joining Boston? That's different. This isn't joining a 73-win team. This is joining a franchise that values heart, grit, and legacy. If KD wins here, it's not just another ring, it's validation. It's proof that his greatness transcends the noise. For Tatum and Brown, it's mentorship and legacy building. For Boston fans, it's a new chapter in a story that already has 17 banners. Everyone has something at stake. And maybe that's why this move feels bigger than basketball. It's about legacy colliding with destiny. If this season ends with Durant raising banner 18, it won't just shock the NBA, it'll redefine it. Because in a league built on surprises, the Celtics just delivered the biggest one of all. Now, let's get into the aftermath, because the reaction across the league is pure chaos. Executives are scrambling, GMs are on the phones, and rival fan bases are either laughing in disbelief or panicking quietly. The Eastern Conference just tilted hard, and everyone knows it. Philly's front office? Probably having emergency meetings. Milwaukee? They're already plotting adjustments. Miami? You can bet Pat Riley's plotting something dramatic. And the fans, man, the memes, the hot takes, the live streams, it's nonstop. This isn't just news, it's an event. Everyone's trying to piece together how Boston even made the numbers work, what they gave up, and how Durant was convinced to leave the desert for Beantown. Some say it was about rings, others say it was about legacy, but the truth might be simpler. Durant wanted to win, and he saw the Celtics as his best shot. It's that simple, that bold, that shocking. And now the NBA landscape has shifted once again. Not gradually, but in one massive, earth-shaking move that nobody saw coming. The Celtics locker room, though, is where the real intrigue lies. How do Tatum and Brown react to this? By all accounts, they're thrilled. Tatum, especially, has always respected Durant. He studied his game, even modeled parts of his scoring approach on him. But there's also an unspoken challenge there. Tatum's been the guy in Boston, and now he's sharing the spotlight with a living legend that can either elevate both players or create subtle tension. The coaching staff will have their hands full managing minutes, egos, and expectations. Joe Mazzulla, the young coach, suddenly finds himself leading a roster that could define an era or implode under pressure. But the vibe out of the Celtics camp seems calm, almost quietly confident. Players are reportedly saying all the right things. We just want to win. It's all about the banner. Still, everyone knows the microscope's coming. Every game will be analyzed like a playoff matchup. And if they stumble early, the headlines will write themselves. Boston wanted the spotlight. Now they've got it blindingly bright. Meanwhile, out in Phoenix, the mood is complicated. Fans are stunned, confused, maybe even betrayed. The Durant experiment was supposed to bring a title to the Valley, but it ended before it ever truly began. Injuries, chemistry issues, coaching changes, it never clicked the way people expected. Still, losing KD feels like the end of an era that never had its proper beginning. Booker and Beal are now left to carry the load, and the front office is spinning the move as a necessary reset. Maybe they got young talent or draft picks in return, but it's hard to imagine anything replacing what Durant brought. Around the league, insiders are calling it the boldest move of the decade, not because of the logistics, but because of what it represents. In today's NBA, stars move constantly, but KD to Boston feels different. It feels like a legacy shift. Phoenix's loss could be Boston's history-making gain. And even though Suns fans are fuming, deep down, everyone knows they just witnessed one of those trades that people will talk about for decades. Now, social media's reaction deserves its own movie. Twitter threads miles long, YouTube live reactions with millions of views, memes everywhere. Some fans are celebrating like they just won the lottery. Others are calling it the death of parity in the NBA. KD's critics are back, questioning his loyalty, while Celtics fans are already updating their bios with 18th banner loading. ESPN hosts are practically shouting over each other, trying to break down the fit. Even LeBron posted a cryptic emoji tweet, because of course he did. It's that kind of moment. Everyone wants a piece of the story. And the craziest part? We still don't know the full trade details. Reports are trickling in, analysts are connecting dots, but the full picture remains hazy. It's the perfect storm. Hype, confusion, disbelief. You couldn't script it better if you tried. The NBA doesn't just deliver games, it delivers theater. And right now, Kevin Durant is the lead actor in the biggest show on earth. And somewhere, deep down, you have to admire it. Because for all the noise, the criticism, the constant chatter about loyalty and super teams, Durant keeps doing what he's always done, chasing greatness. Maybe he doesn't care about the narratives. Maybe he just wants to hoop, to compete at the highest level, to keep writing his story in his own unpredictable way. Boston gives him that chance. It's a city that breathes basketball, that demands excellence, that either embraces you or devours you. And that's what makes this move so fascinating. It's not safe. It's not predictable. It's bold, risky, and unapologetic. Everything Kevin Durant has always been. So yeah, the NBA world is losing its mind right now. But maybe, just maybe, in a few months, when the Celtics are rolling and Durant smiling under those bright garden lights, this won't look crazy anymore. It'll look inevitable. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. So here we are, a new chapter, a new power shift, and a whole lot of questions. Can Durant stay healthy? Can Boston manage the pressure? Can this team actually live up to the hype? Nobody knows, but that's the beauty of it. The NBA thrives on uncertainty, on storylines that blur the line between reality and myth. And this one? It's got everything. Drama, redemption, legacy, rivalry, all packed into one shocking headline. Kevin Durant joins the Boston Celtics. It still sounds surreal, even after saying it out loud a dozen times. But that's the NBA for you. Unpredictable, electric, alive. And whether you love it or hate it, you can't look away. The season hasn't even started yet, but it already feels like history's in the making. So buckle up, basketball fans. The league just got a lot more interesting. And the ripple effect doesn't stop with Boston and Phoenix. Across the league, front offices are quietly recalculating their entire offseason strategies. Teams that thought they were contenders are suddenly questioning if they even have a chance to compete in the East. The draft board is being revisited, trade chips reevaluated, and free agency plans reconsidered. Analysts are now speculating about whether Durant's move will trigger a cascade of super team formations or simply cement Boston's dominance for the next several seasons. The whispers in the gymnasiums behind closed doors and during off-the-record coffee meetings are electric. Executives are staring at spreadsheets with beads of sweat forming on their foreheads, trying to figure out how they could have possibly countered this. And fans are dissecting every detail of the trade with surgical precision, debating whether the Celtics overpaid or if Durant's impact makes the deal impossible to quantify. Meanwhile, the league itself is benefiting from this whirlwind of attention, as TV ratings, social media engagement, and merchandise sales are all about to explode. One trade, one signing, And the NBA landscape doesn't just shift, it fractures into a whole new narrative that nobody saw coming, forcing everyone to pay attention and rethink what's possible in a single season. Meanwhile, for the players themselves, the psychological implications are enormous. Kevin Durant stepping into Boston isn't just about excess in OS or offensive efficiency. It's about leadership, trust, and legacy. Tatum and Brown now have to adjust their approach, blending their instincts with Durant's presence without compromising their own games. The locker room dynamics will be under constant scrutiny as fans and media alike dissect every interaction for signs of harmony or tension. For Durant, there's an opportunity to mentor while still dominating, to shape a team that balances experience, youth, and versatility in unprecedented ways. Every practice will now carry weight, every game a statement. Opponents will adjust their defensive schemes, attempting to contain one of the most skilled scorers of all time while also managing the other weapons on Boston's roster. And then there's the intangible effect, the aura of confidence and intimidation that Durant brings. Simply seeing him in a Celtics jersey could make opposing teams second-guess their game plan, shift their mentality, and inadvertently change the flow of contest before a ball is even tipped. This is why some insiders are already calling it a psychological coup as much as a basketball one. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.